Okay, let's do another video on rational equations. This should help you today. Now, remember, this is your handout. It will be in Google Classroom, along with this video, of course. And you're just going to work them out in your notebooks. So let's get started here. So let's start with one, the easier ones, like number 1. Notice how this one has m squared, this one has m, this one has m squared. So I know my common denominator is going to be m squared. These two denominators, of course, have a 6, so I'm going to combine those two together, and 6m squared is my common denominator. Let's see what happens here. Well, the m squareds cancel, and I have 6 here times 1, which is 6, equals, here the 6 and m with m squared cancels the m, so 1 times m is m, minus, here, 6 and m squared cancel, and all I have is a 1 right there. And as you can see, this one was simple. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. M is 7. Okay, now we're going to jump to some more challenging ones, and they're going to involve the quadratic formula, but like the last video, guys, I'm not going to set it up with a calculator. I'm going to do it with factoring, because some of you need to get better with some factoring tricks anyways. So here we go. So on number 17, notice how this one's x squared, this has no x, this has an x. So I know my common denominator has to have x squared in it. These two have 2's in them. So my common denominator must have a factor of 2 as well. So 2x squared is my common denominator. Let's see what happens. The x squareds cancel. 2 times 2 is 4. Minus, here the 2's cancel. I'm left with x squared times 1, which is x squared, equals, here the 2 and the x with the x squared cancel the x, so 3 times x is 3x. Now remember, we got to get it equal to 0. And one trick I want you to learn is, see how the x squared is negative here? So I'm going to actually add x squared to make it a positive x squared. And I'm going to minus 4 as well. So I just made the left side equal to 0. And my right side, make sure you put it in order, is x squared, which is positive, with a 3x and a minus 4. So you can solve this with quadratic formula. But again, I'm going to do the x method. I know I need a negative 4 right here for my product. I need a 3 in the middle. So I'm going to do 1 times 4. Now to get this 3, I need to do 4 minus 1. And the 4 times minus 1, of course, is negative 4. So the factored form is 0 equals x minus 1 times x plus 4. And right here, we should realize that 1 minus 1 is 0. And right here, we should know that negative 4 plus 4 is 0. All right, let's do one more, guys. Number 18. Notice how this is a squared, and a. So I already know my common denominator is a squared. This is the only denominator that has an extra number 2. So 2 must be part of my common denominator as well. Let's see what happens here. The a squareds cancel. This 2 I must distribute with 8a4. So 2 times 8a is 16a. 2 times a 4 is 8. We have a equals. Here the a squareds cancel. So this 2 I must distribute again. 2a minus 12. We have a minus. Let's be careful. Always get in the habit of using a parentheses. Let's see what happens here. The 2's cancel. A with a squared cancels a. So I have to distribute this a. So I have 3a squared plus 2a. So I have 16a plus 8. Sorry if I'm getting a little messy there. Let's try that again. 16a plus 8 equals, I have to distribute the minus, so this is minus 3a squared. That's a minus 2a with 2a. Oh, cool. That makes 0 for a's there. And we also have a minus 12. Again, this minus right here with the 3 made minus 3a squared. And the minus with the 2a made minus 2a, but it canceled out this 2a. And so all I had left also was a minus 12. Now notice how the a squared is negative again. So let's fix that by adding 3a squared to both sides. And let's, of course, add 12 to both sides as well. So this time my 0 is on the right. And I need to make sure this is nicely organized in order. So 3a squared is first. 16a is next. The 8 and 12 make 20. So again, this is where you use a quadratic formula, guys. But I am going to do the X method here. Trying to find a color that shows up really nice. Hopefully green shows up pretty nice for you guys. Actually, let's go back with yellow. That's a little bit better. Okay, so remember to take the first times the last when you're, factoring there. So I'm going to do 3 times 20 is 60. And I need a 16 for my sum in the middle. Now 3 and 20 can't make 16. But if I do 10 times 6, 60, I do get 16. So 10 times 6, of course, is 60. And 10 and 6 is 16. So I do have a plus 10 times a plus 6. Now we do need this 3 in there. So I'm going to divide by 3 here times 3 there. This is still equal to 0. So I'm going to go to a new blank screen here, guys. So I know that 3a plus 10 times a plus 2 equals 0. Again, don't forget, 6 divided by 3 is 2. You got to do that divide so we can times the other one, in this case by 3. And to solve this, this should be easy. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. But here, I know 3a somehow has to equal negative 10. Because negative 10 plus 10 is 0, right? So dividing by 3, a must be negative 10 thirds. So here are my two answers, negative 10 thirds and negative 2. Guys, this is definitely a video you ought to pause, take notes on, as well as think about making a flashcard or two on. Has some good problems and examples in there. But I'll see you in class tomorrow.